Good morning traders and welcome to today's live trading. Today is Thursday the 29th of March. As usual we are on the FTSE 100 and let me quickly run you through my morning analysis that I've done for today's market. You can see here we're just poking above a band that I've got marked in around the sort of 7045 level. I've got a few bands below there marked in. And then two above for now. If it does start making its way above these ones, then I'll look at the band above there. But that's what I've marked in for now. As far as immediate trade setups go, I haven't really got too much on my radar. What I would like to see, I think, is we got 10 minutes till the open. If we could have some sort of move up just before the open, and maybe just after the open, carry on moving up into this band here. I'd happily look to take a sell from there, back down to this band here. Alternatively, if that doesn't happen, I'd still like to see price hold above this band. Maybe just come up slightly, test this high over here, come back down, and still give me a buy signal, and I would look to take that long. If I bring over if I switch to the hourly chart, you can see we've been on a bit of a run here on the FTSE. We did sell off quite a lot, but we're having a bit of that. We're seeing a bit of that correction now. But it's moving really nicely, setting highs, setting higher highs, setting higher lows for now. So yeah, it's good to see. We've obviously got the support here of the hourly 200 for this bounce upwards, and we're looking fairly bullish going into attacking this this high here. Obviously that can change very quickly, but yeah, so they're the sort of two trades that I'm sort of looking at the moment. It just depends how price acts after the open really, so I'll update you a little bit later, and fingers crossed we can get some trade setups pretty quickly. So we've just gone 9:30. We've had some pound news out. We've had the just looking on the calendar, we've had current account, final GDP, Q-on-Q, and a couple of other things have come out, mortgage approvals and that sort of thing, but not too much of a reaction there. One signal that I was umming and ahhing at was this one here, this red pin bar here, but the risk on it, you were looking towards 15 points, and really the reward on it again was about 15 points, so it was about 1-to-1, which I don't mind taking. But with the prospect of some potential high impact news only like an hour away, I didn't really want to risk it really. I didn't want to take the trade because of that. But as you can see, it's played out quite nicely. It would have got to the profit target. I usually just aim just before the band there, so yeah, that one would have worked out quite nicely, but it's easy to say that looking back in hindsight. I've got to nip out now for a bit. So I won't be back until this afternoon, but we'll continue to look for some trading setups then, so I'll see you then. Right, so we've just gone past 12 o'clock, we're 12:05 now. We've had a second pin bar, basically at the same level within this 70-75 band. So I'm going to put a short order just below this second one. So the low is 71.3, I'm just going to put that in at 70, so I'll do that now. The stop will go, let's just have a look. The stop will probably go above sort of the high of this swing, so it'll be about 12-ish points, and we're looking for a move down. So to stay within our risk parameters that we've mentioned a few times, I'm going to put it in at £3 a point and submit that. So I'll bring the ticket across so you can see the order, which is there. And we'll see how this starts running if it does get triggered. Right, so we've just gone 1 o'clock. I want to show you what I'm looking at as far as a target for this trade. If I load up the hourly chart, not really what I was after, is it? Hourly chart. There we go. You can see we're coming down to test this 8 EMA on the hourly chart. Now, we've not tested this for a while. It also lines up quite nicely, you'll see, with these highs. So it seems to be a decent place to take profit to me, as it's likely to find at least a little bit of support there. So that's coming in at about 60. So I think all I'm going to do is just sort of eyeball this and watch it for it coming down. That EMA is going to move all the time that the price is moving anyway. So if we get down to around about 60, like if it flushes down at the end of a candle, for example, then I'll just close it before the candle ends. Other than that, I'm just waiting for it to get down to that level. Obviously, we're not far from there currently. We're just a couple of points above there. But that's what I'm looking at. So I'll keep watching for now. Right, just looking at the hourly chart, and that's about sitting on the EMA there. So I'm going to close the trade there. I know this was a reduced target. Basically, it's just some analysis that I missed having taken the trade. Obviously, I usually target the next band down, which this well could do still, which will be 20 points for a stop that was 12 is okay. Ideally, going for a stop that's, I think we got 10 for a stop that was 12 is not ideal. But on this occasion, it's worked out, and we haven't been punished for missing something on the hourly chart. Let me bring it up again so you can see what I'm talking about. So you can see, right, we're sat right on it as we speak. So it's very likely that this will find at least, if I can get the right tool, some support here. Like I say, we're coming into these previous highs along with the 8 EMA. There's nothing really on the 4 hour, obviously, other than the highs across here. So it makes sense. I would definitely expect some sort of bounce, and with the momentum that's with this market at the moment, I don't want to try and sit through a bounce, because what would likely happen is we would see it come all the way back up into this band, and then we would have to see whether it's going to react from there and start moving back down again. And if it's going to react from the band, we might as well get in on the second time it comes up to the band rather than sitting through a retracement. So it makes sense to take profit here, which is what we've done. So just to interject, I just wanted to go over the point that we talked about earlier, in that where we got out just down here, which on the hourly time frame, which I'll bring up just briefly, was this touch of the 8 EMA, the first one that we're seeing there. And I said there could have been a potential bounce which would take us right back up into this band, and that's exactly what's happened. Now it has come back down, and we're back at the level where we exited the trade. We did have some, I think, CAD news out at 3, which could have been, you know, a key reason as to why this has come back down, but that won't always happen. But a thing that's easy to overlook when backtesting something like this is sort of the emotional side of it, because if your trade is up pretty much target, and you get to a point like this and you're umming and ahhing as to whether you're going to stay in it, and you don't, you come out and then it carries on going down, that can be quite damaging. But equally, if you decide to stay in it, thinking, maybe blindly thinking that it's going to come down to the target that you originally had, and it doesn't, it does something like this, this can be really difficult to sit through. So it's well worth being realistic with your expectations, especially when you know you've identified something like we did on the hourly time frame, where it was highly likely we'd see a reaction here. Just come out or reduce your risk. If you can bring the stop down to maybe break even, or somewhere that makes sense from what you've back tested, then go with that. But yeah, I just thought it was a point worth mentioning, because this could have quite easily just carried on upwards. Like if we look at the 4 hour chart, this is a really decent bounce recently and could have carried on going upwards. Excuse me. So a point worth making. So I'll wrap the video up there. Thank you very much for watching. If you have liked it, please do drop a like on the video, and if you haven't done already, please do consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.